Hey, hey, hey. What is up? What is up? Hey, 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 hey. What is going on? What is going on? This is No I Don't Know TV series. Hey, hey. Another day, another 10 cents for all y'all that's at the corporate plantation. Shouts out to you. Much power and respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm just over here chilling. It's cold than a motherfucker. God damn. Man. What is going on? Man. Some people getting prepared to go spend their last welfare check on Christmas Eve and Christmas. Some bitches is out there selling their pussy hole for a Christmas tree. And some niggas is selling that dick for a Christmas tree. Some bitches is out there hoeing for some presents for their kids. And some niggas is out there slanging that dick for some presents for their kids. But if you come on down to Warren's auction block, I will auction off that pussy hole for you. And it goes a little something like this. Let me get 45, 54, 55, 65 for that pussy, 65 for that pussy, 75 for that pussy, yep. 85 for that pussy, yep. 95 for that pussy, nah, yep. So, to the next sucker. Man, what is going on? Man. Turn this down some, man. What's going on? I thought I'd hit y'all up with some. A little different today. It's cold in the motherfucker if y'all here in Vegas, man. This shit is fucked up out here. Then the weather kept fucking around and shit. It kept going from hot to cold to hot and shit. Man, get you some Golden Seal. No Golden Seal Echinacea, just straight Golden Seal. Get you some elderberry tea. No elderberry tea and Echinacea, just straight elderberry tea. If you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, just Google Dr. Sebi's herbal teas and he'll give you a list of teas that you need to take. God damn, it's been cold than a motherfucker out here. God damn. But it ain't too cold for bitches to get their hoe on. But anyway, man, what is going on? A lot of things been going on, man. A lot of shit been happening. You know. Hey, what's up? MEWTW066. I don't know how to say that shit, but what's happening? Somebody in the chat room. But anyway, what is going on, man? I don't know, I've said that a million times. Man, the rise of racial tension. Man, in these times, in these days, the racial tension is at an all-time high. Don't let them fool you. Don't make it seem. Don't let them do one little act of kindness. You know, I see they got Eddie Murphy on there, so they want to push Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live, which I love Eddie Murphy. But it's so funny how they want to push him. You know what I mean? They don't want to push nobody else, but they want to push him. They got to make sure they vet you out because it's about money at the end of the day. It's about how you make motherfuckers look and what type of branding are you trying to do. So much power and respect to Eddie Murphy, man. Eddie Murphy is funny to the motherfucker, especially when you get to talk about them Italians and shit, them fucking moolies and all the other shit. That shit is funny. But anyway, I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about Isaiah Thomas in the NBA and how he had to walk up on some fans who looked like they could be classified as the dominant society. And then they didn't expect him to walk up on them like that. Then it was like, oh, my bad, damn, my bad. Yeah, motherfucker, you can't be talking crazy to niggas. It's so funny. As I watch the NBA, we gonna get into this real quick. I've been thinking about this forever, and I've been watching. You know what I'm saying? As you watch the NBA, which is 85% melanated brothers and sisters and another percent dominant society, well, you notice the dominant society referees always get into it with the black players. But when it's a black ref, a melanated ref, they may get into it, but melanated refs don't just fly off the handle and start. Melanated refs give more text to the coaches than they do to the players. But I noticed, I was watching Lou Williams from the Clippers, and I was watching this look like an arrogant ass dominant society white boy refereeing, who looked like he shouldn't even be refereeing. And then he just kept jaw-jacking with Lou Williams, and then he tacked him up. But you notice Lou Williams was saying, nigga, I'm a man first. Respect me as a man first. That's because a lot of these Caucasian refs are racist and don't like the black players, and they know they can get away with murder and say and do and talk crazy to them, and they know players can't do shit to them. Which reminds me of the corporate plantation. See, I come from LA. Now, I love Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is gonna get there. But in LA, you can't just act no fool on no job because a nigga gonna wanna see you. And they ain't gonna give a fuck about the job. They will jeopardize that job to put their hands on you. Now in Las Vegas, it hasn't gotten to that level yet, but it's getting there. And let me tell you, as people move out here and as money becomes scarce and jobs become scarce, motherfuckers gonna start running up on people. And then motherfuckers gonna have to get some act right in them. So I'm proud of Isaiah Thomas, who played for the Washington Wizards, who ran up on them. I like how he just walked up on him and was like, hey man, you're not gonna talk to me like that, bro. And then the motherfuckers was like, damn. See, that's the thing. And you know that it ain't never black people. It's always Caucasian people. Which brings me to the Utah Jazz, how that Mormon fan called Russell Westbrook a nigga. See, and then they try to come out, oh, we don't stand. No, that's how the rest of y'all motherfuckers think. Don't get me started. That's how a lot of motherfuckers think. They just don't say it. This racial tension is at an all-time high because of the lack of, I would say, melanated people sticking together and being on the same page and understanding what it's about. That's why we always get railroaded. That's why they always step on our heads. That's why they do what they do to us, because we too busy fighting everybody else's battle but our own. You know, I was reading this thing about Dwayne Wade, because I guess his son is a little moist or whatever, or part of the LGBTQ element, PXYZ. But it's like, why we always want to talk about that shit, but when it comes to racism, we stay away from that. Why is Gabrielle Union talking about the racist shit and then Dwayne Wade talk about the LGBTQ element Man, fuck all that. You can exit stage left, like Hustle Man told old girl on Martin when they was planning their wedding. See ya. It's like we always want to talk about that shit, but when it comes to our racial matters, we don't never want to talk about it. We dance around it. We act like it don't exist, like it's not no problem. And what we do is, I get what happens. Money divides melanated people. That's why we don't have a code of conduct. That's why we don't know how to stay on code. Because all somebody got to do is, look, I'll tell you like this. All these motherfuckers that be out there marching and whining and repeating, even the LGBTQ element them moist motherfuckers. Let a nigga pull up. You can say all kinds of fucked up shit. Let a nigga pull up with a truck full of money and just get a fan and blow all the money out there. Niggas will stop that fighting and shit and stop that protesting and get that money. Because our economic status is on, we ain't got no ends. We ain't got no bread. So motherfuckers gonna try to get that money for anything else. So what y'all gotta do is, each one has to teach one. Learn how to manage the money that you have. And understand that money, you give the money power. The power don't give you money. You know how people, when you can tell when they got money, they popping their collars. I have family members like that. Not my close and immediate family. Not my siblings, not them. But I have other family members, extended relatives. You know, they got a little bit of money. They got the pop in their collar. And then when the money is gone, let's just say them motherfuckers got to acting like a Jackie Chan stunt devil. And acting like Lee Major. And just jumping out the building type shit. Because motherfuckers let that money consume and control them. Yeah, I get it. You all be stressed out. That's why I always say shout out to the people that work on the weekends. Why you say that, Warren? Because, nigga, I used to work on the weekend. I know how that shit feel. And I don't like it when a nigga try to tell me, oh, man, I don't know how you can do that. What you mean you don't know how you can do that? If your back is against the wall, you don't know what you gonna do. That's why those fans at that fucking Philly game didn't know that Isaiah Thomas was gonna walk up on them. And I'm glad he did. And then he got his security, kick them motherfuckers out. And that's how you handle it. That's how G handled it. He kept his composure, and he did. That's what you do. You don't get all loud, obnoxious with people. You just walk up on them, and you let them know what it is, and just walk away. Most motherfuckers are bitch-ass motherfuckers, and they'll run and go tell or make it seem like they got threatened or some other shit, because that's what they do when it comes to the dominant society. This is a war. And in a war, no man is safe. And you are prisoners of war, according to Neely Fuller Jr. Go read that book, The Compensatory Counter-Racist Code of Ethics by Neely Fuller Jr. Go read it, how they dominate 9 areas of activity. Say it all the time. They dominate 9 areas of activity. And in the 9 areas of activity, labor, law, economics, education, sex, war, counter-war, politics, religion. Damn, I think I got all of them. And if you can't get that book, go get the ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Man, I remember when I read that book in 2016, that book had me fucked up because there's so much shit in there. Then after you read that book, go read Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. Go read those books, man. Those books are monumental. You know what I mean? Just read those 4 books. If you can read The Compensatory Counter-Racist Code of Ethics by Neely Fuller Jr., if you can read The ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, and if you can read Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. If you can read those 3 books in whatever order you want, it's going to change exactly how you look at things. And if you want to put some little icing on the cake, read The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks by the Nation of Islam. Go read that book. That book is hard. I'm telling you, y'all motherfuckers got to understand. This racial tension is at an all-time high because as melanated people, we not together and we not checking that shit. See, here's how you check it, but you check it on the educated level. When a motherfucker get to saying bullshit, don't argue and fight with them. You know what I say? Man, you should go read White Fragility. That's a very good book. You should go check that out. And they're going to be like, what's that book about? It's White Fragility. Look up fragility. Go look up the book. Google a book. Give them books to read. See, they don't like that. I've done that in the past. That's what they don't like. See, they want you to get all emotional and, hey, that's racist. You know, fuck all that. Oh, you're a racist motherfucker. Nah, don't do that. What you need to do is just say, hey, man, go get White Fragility. That's a great book. Or go, you know, if you want some books to read, go read White Fragility. Or go read Black Labor, White Wealth. And then they're going to be like, what is that? Go read it. And then you'll understand where I'm coming from. Let the books do the talking. Don't be a base raider, a race baiter as far as like you want to get somebody into a type of a conversation where you arguing about race. Don't argue with these people. The dominant society know about racism. Don't let these motherfuckers fool you. They act stupid and, you know, racism, that's the new generation that act like it ain't no racism because they got white fans and they got dominant society fans, you know, that's in hip hop or R&B or whatever. So they feel like it ain't no racism. Take that money away and a little bit of status that you do have, and let's see where the and go apply them to a regular corporate plantation job, and let's see where the racism picks up and where it ends. Because the circle figure 8, it doesn't end. And then from racism, you go classism. That's why they figured if they can convince one white person, the poorest white person, that he's somehow better than the richest nigga, they've done their job. So that's why you have all these distractions. That's why I look at people like Lizzo, Lord Jesus. Come on now. I've seen a lot of shit online about it. I watched at the Laker game and, you know, and I get it. You're giving us this statement about being homeless and all this other shit, and that's cool. But let's take it a step further. Sweetie, we really need you to stop cooning and samboing and being the buttermilk biscuit eating wench that they want you to do and just kind of be up there and be co-signing the fuckery. You know what I mean? Because let me tell you something. If you notice, they don't do beautiful, gorgeous, melanated sisters like that. They don't prop them up and put them in front of people and everything. They don't do that. But they want to take a bigger sister. Well, she's a bigger sister. She's a nice looking sister, whatever. She's a little bigger, but I'll tell you this. That's by design. See, that's that mammy shit. So when you see that, they think of mammy. Because that's what they want. They want you to have that type of association with melanated women. And if it's not, then it's the melanated women that's from Africa that's talking shit about regular niggas and cotton pickers and akatas and all this other bullshit and these niggas are lazy. That bullshit. You know, I've been around some Nigerians. I've been around some real African niggas that's like, I don't get down like that. I don't play that game. I love my niggas out here in America. And I'm like, right on, brother. He's like, nah, I don't play that. That's why I get into it. I don't get along with regular Africans. because they talk a lot of shit about niggas out here, and I do not like that because we are all niggas. I said, see, you knowing what's going on. He's like, yeah, I don't like that. This was a long time ago. It's a long time ago. These brothers was cool-ass Nigerian brothers. I don't know if they was Nigerian or I forgot where they was from, but there's definitely African brothers, and they was like, no, we don't play that shit. They ain't like that motherfucker on 98 Fiance, baby, who's marrying the big old fat white woman. And this bitch is 60 years old, and this nigga's 27, and they trying to have a baby together. Come on, nigga. Come on, man. You know that bitch is too old for that. But that's what they like to prop and frame. They want to be the controller of the narrative. So as long as they author, then you ain't got to worry about the bullshit. Oh, what's going on, Tasha? I see you. I'm telling you this right now, man. We got to stop being distracted. Because I'm watching this girl, Lizzo, and I'm like, see, you just a big distraction. They didn't give you some buttermilk biscuits and some fucking nigga trinkets and accoutrements from the dominant society, and now you feel like, oh, I'm homeless, and I was homeless, and I've made it big, so I'm grateful to be here. That doesn't necessarily mean you become desperate mentally. Because what happens is, mentally, when you're desperate, you'll do anything. And that's what our society has become. That's why you have a lot of us that don't know how to cope. We don't know how to deal with our personal situations. We're popping Molly and all these pills, these pills and Percocets and all this bullshit and drinking and staying fucked up. You know, these niggas done went from weed to just doing straight pills and black tar heroin and all this other bullshit. Now that it's out of control with the dominant society, they talking about an opioid epidemic. Nigga, well, what was y'all talking that shit when it came to the crack in the black neighborhoods in the 80s? Y'all wasn't saying that shit then. Y'all had the bitch on their TV talking about just say no. Man, get the fuck out of here. I really feel like we gotta look at what's going on. Just like that fan in Utah who called Russell Westbrook a nigga. That's probably what he called him. That's what I believe. And Utah, like I said before, tried to come out and put out a statement and act like that doesn't represent them, but that does represent y'all race and y'all society, because that's how we get treated on a daily basis. We just got to know what it is and start diving into these books and educating ourselves, and each one has to start teaching one and not resulting to, I would say, emotions, and learning how to keep our composure and not being reactive and reactionary on what they say, and learning how to respond. Like I said, I remember a dominant society, man, oh man, those poor Asians, they built the railroad, and I was like, and I just looked at them. Now, I could have been like, they built the railroad, black people built the country. But I didn't say any of that, because that was a race bait for me. You were trying to bait me into some shit to see. I don't need to do that with you, because now I read. So when a motherfucker get to talking shit to me, I just be like, why don't you just go read this book? And I'll tell you all you need to know about what the fuck is going on. Like, I recently went to Barnes & Nobles, and I'm going to start going to Barnes & Nobles too. I'm going to start going up there and reading my book. And I'm going to start... What I'm going to start doing is just observing, because when I went to the section of philosophers, they hardly have no black philosophers. They had a whole bunch of white motherfuckers that stole from black people, but they didn't have our people in there. Like, they had Manly P. Hall, they had Plato, all these people that was sneaking over to Africa and stealing our ancient science and shit, and then coming up with their own fucking hypothesis on what's going on. But then when it came to our section was about as big as my library at home. I said, God damn, half these books I got. And then some of the books they didn't have at all. Like, they didn't have Black Labor, White Wealth. They didn't have Powernomics. They didn't have the ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. They didn't have Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. They did have Medical Apartheid, though. Go cop that. Medical Apartheid, that's a very, very good book. They had Medical Apartheid. They had a lot of books by, people that are mainstream. They didn't have books by people, like, They Came Before Columbus by Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. They didn't have that. They didn't have Ashwa Kwesi. They didn't have a lot of books in there. And I was like, well, I should know. This is fucking Barnes & Nobles. They don't give a fuck about no nigga shit. Even though we're responsible for the civilization of the world. People know. That's why I tell people all the time, don't be arguing with these people about racism. Refer them to books. When they get to, you know what I do? Like, it was so funny. Somebody was asking me something about diet and all this other stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, I kind of follow a lot of Dr. Sebi. Oh, yeah, Dr. Sebi, such. You know what I hit him with? Yeah, Dr. Sebi. You know where he got that from, right? And then, I love this. I want everybody to remember this. When they be like, oh yeah, Dr. Sebi, yeah, Nipsey Hussle was on Dr. Sebi and all this. I was like, you know where Dr. Sebi got his shit from, right? And they'd be like, nah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. You just see people's face. They'd be like, the honorable Elijah Muhammad? Oh yes, the honorable Elijah Muhammad. You can Google it, you can YouTube where Dr. Sebi got his principles in food from and healing from, and it's gonna say, he's gonna give props to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. See, they don't like that shit. See, they don't want you to know that. All you gotta do is go read How to Eat to Live by the honorable Elijah Muhammad. That'll tell you what the fuck you need to know. See, people think that you have to be a part of the Nation of Islam or FOI to get these books and read them. You don't have to be a defender of the Nation of Islam, but you can seek the knowledge of what they're talking about, and you can give reverence to it, and you can put them on an all-time high. You know why? Because they put, every time I go on somebody's house, they got John F. Kennedy on the wall, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson. They got all these slave-owning motherfuckers that destroyed a black civilization and used our shit to create their own. So why is it we can't have not just Malcolm X? We got to think of who gave us Malcolm X, the honorable Elijah Muhammad. Why we can't have Clarence X? Why we can't have those people on our walls? Why we got to have Obama's comments? I remember back in the day when I had Obama on my wall, and I was like, yeah, Obama 08. And then after 08, he didn't say shit, and I was like, that's okay. Next term, you know, he going to start talking about the real shit. Because I was dumb. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Then by 2012, and you see the Trayvon Martin shit, and the Philando Castile shit, and then you get Oscar Grant that already happened, and then you got Mike Brown. Like, as all this shit is happening, I'm like, God damn, he not gonna say shit. Shit. By the time that nigga got out of office, by the time it got to 2016, I had already read The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks. I had already read The ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. I had already read Black Labor, White Wealth. I had already read Powernomics. I had already read Black History Reader. I had already read those 5 books before he got out of office. I had read more than 5 books. I read that. I read Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, Medical Apartheid. Man, I read so many fucking books by the time he got out of office. After I probably read, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, after I read Black Labor, White Wealth, because I read the Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks. I read The ISIS Papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Then I read Black Labor, White Wealth. By Black Labor, White Wealth, I took his pictures down off my wall in my house. I took that shit down because I was like, this motherfucker don't, like, he don't give a fuck. He don't care. You in there to get your money, get your bread, take care of your family, and that's fine. But that's what always divides us. If being a part of that presidency, and if that don't mean nothing, then motherfuckers will want to do it. Just like I met this lady from Cuba, and she was like telling me, she was like, I don't care if you are a doctor, I don't care if you're a teacher, you make the same. Everybody make the same money. So if you want to be a doctor, you want to be a doctor for real because you really love it, not because you're going to make a whole bunch of money. That's why most doctors are assholes and they don't like what they do. That's why most nurses are assholes and don't like what they do. That's why you got a whole bunch of Filipinos infiltrating the nursing community, and some of them are nice, but a lot of them, they assholes. And they look down and they act like they better than us when we already know when you go over there, you know when you go to the Philippines what you got going on. And I got a lot of love and respect for my Filipino brothers and sisters, but a lot of them, hey, y'all niggas be on some messy bullshit. For real. And I feel like most races that get around the dominant society, Caucasians, they become acclimated to what they want them to act like. So we can tout our flag, our Cuban flag, our Puerto Rican flag, our Dominican flag, and all the Trinidadian flag and all this other shit. But then when you get around the dominant society, you become a conformist, go along to get along type motherfucker. And then you have a tendency to do certain things that's in alignment with the dominant society wants. That's why most people, they use their talking points, because the narrative is being controlled by the dominant society. That's why you notice motherfuckers like Dwayne Wade. Of course, I get it, your son is on that shit, but it's like you more vocal about that than the shit that's going on right now. The poverty against black people. Fuck the poverty against everybody else. We're locked and boxed out of the wealth. We the ones that ain't got no fucking money. And then the little bit of money that they do give us, like Isaiah Thomas and the people in the NBA, they act like we supposed to be robots. You can call us nigga and do all kinds of shit, and then the nigga ain't supposed to react. Well, they should have known Russell Westbrook was gonna act. That motherfucker that nigga is ready. He's always on 10. That nigga be ready for some bullshit. So it's like, I just look at those things. That's why I brought up the white referees and the black players. It's always an issue with the white referees and the black players, like Joey Crawford and Dick Vivetta and all the other motherfuckers. But when you get to the black referees, the black ones, you notice they don't do too much arguing with the black players like that. And they're not scared of the black players like that. See, that's the problem. Like, when you talking about the race soldiers or the race representatives, the law enforcement, police officers, how can you take lily white officers and sprinkle them in the hood and don't think it's gonna be volatile? These white officers don't know nothing about dealing with black people in the hood. They afraid of black people. So put them in the nice part of town and put the niggas with the niggas. But then you niggas stop acting like Sambos and coons. Just like everybody want to take up for Eminem and say some shiesty shit to Nick Cannon. And it's like, why don't y'all just shut the fuck up and let Nick Cannon and Eminem go back and forth? Why everybody gotta? Because it's a lot more Sambos in this world than you think. That's why I like what Nick Cannon said when he was like on his third disc, how he put out motherfucking Eminem song about black women. See, that's the thing. See, I can talk about black women. You don't talk about black women. But see, that's what happens when you get comfortable. But you should be comfortable because you're a guest in hip hop. Just like Lord Jamar said, shout out to Lord Jamar and the 5 Percenters. See, motherfuckers don't like that shit. That's why I don't get, look, I'm not tripping. I don't get involved with the pettiness, but at the end of the day, you did make a song about black women, and there are other songs out there that are worse than the song that we can hear about black women, and you got it wiped off the internet and you paid somebody not to release that. You was probably calling black women niggas and shit. Oh, I know what he was doing. Go watch that documentary, The Untold Story of Hip Hop in Detroit by Champtown. It tells you all you need to know about people like Eminem. We thank God for Dr. Dre, but goddamn, we gotta stop co-signing the fuckery, because they not co-signing us unless they're fucking us over. That's why you hear, come together right now over me, with the Beatles and shit. Knowing that Michael Jackson owned that catalog, now Michael Jackson is dead. First of all, we know Michael Jackson loved his mama. And we know he would leave the majority of his shit, damn near all of it, to his mom. Now, why is it the other lawyers come out and talk about, oh no, we got the real will? Now, how the fuck you got the real will, but Michael Jackson did a will for his mom? And that's what I'm saying. And now he's dead, so now you got the Beatles and everybody coming out with songs and shit and try to take back his publishing, take everything, just like with Prince. This is what they do to us. This is not what we do to them. But I'll tell you this, if we start going and looking at the history of the Moors and how we ruled them and had them enslaved, then you start to see why they are inherently afraid of what we are capable of doing. That's a fact. Some things we just gotta be mindful of, and some things that we gotta learn, take inventory of, start reading. Each one has to teach one. The one thing I think we need to get together is our economic prowess and our power. And that's individually with our family. We gotta start each look, and motherfuckers gotta start listening and being disciplined. When it comes to money, you have to discipline yourself. And look, every day is a school day, and every day, as Neely Fuller Jr. says, I'm still learning. So every day I'm still learning. When I get a little bit of money, I'm still learning. But here's the thing. You can't still learn if a person trying to tell you something, you want to listen. All you melanated people that's out here, all you young people that's out here, I'm going to tell you right now, these Latino brothers and sisters is taking all the motherfucking jobs, and I ain't mad at them. Because Latinos know how to work together. Niggas don't. And you know why niggas don't? Because I think it's socialized with our parents to just feel inferior and feel like we got to go to school and get this education, this European education, to go compete. Whether you get that education or not, you still got to compete. And you got to compete with the Latino brothers and sisters. You got to compete with the Filipino brothers and sisters. You got to compete with the Asians. And then at the helm of all of it is the dominant society, which is the white people. That's a fact. Which everybody's classified as white. Hispanic is not a race. Latinos is classified as white. So I just think we have to understand what it is. And we got to teach one. We got to stop learning everybody else's history but our own. We have to fight for our shit and not fight for everybody else's. We want to carry everybody else's water. We want to be a part. I'm telling you, we want to be a part of the LGBTQ community and all this other shit, but then when it's trying to be a part of the melanated community, it's like, oh, well, fuck them niggas. And it's like, nah, you can't be that way. But what are we learning? What are we really learning, and what are we putting out there for our younger generation to gain knowledge from so they can take the baton and go forward? There is a big void between the younger generation and us. I see it with music. I see it with education. I see it with a lot of shit. Dr. Dre was Jimmy Iovine puppet. Hey, let me tell you something. Go listen to those interviews with Suge Knight. Suge Knight, Antoine Fuqua, he did this docu-series or this doc on Suge Knight. This was like 2015. And he was basically, which I believe him. There's a lot of shit I don't agree with what Suge Knight did. There's a lot of shit I don't agree with. But you got to give a man props where props is due. Suge Knight broke down the structure with Jimmy Iovine. And Jimmy, he was like, Jimmy didn't even want to deal with Dre. They didn't even want to deal with Dre. And nobody wanted to deal with them. I'm the one who fought for that. And I think a lot of the times when you fight for people, niggas lose focus on what's going on. Let me tell you why. Like I said, I've had family. I've had family I'll put time in with. My brothers and sisters know I put time in with. Nigga gets some money, act like he don't know a nigga. That's what happens when you get a little bit of paper. Now the paper's gone. Now you can't find these motherfuckers. You can find Waldo before you find these niggas that had this money, this so-called money that wasn't really a whole bunch of money. But that's what happens. And I sometimes feel like a lot of the moves that Suge Knight did were falsify advertisement. A lot of things he shouldn't have done. Like, you don't fuck somebody else's baby mama and do all that. That just causes a lot of bullshit too. But as far as Jimmy not wanting to deal with Dre, I believe that. Which is, that's how business is. I think we don't know how to separate personal and business. See, we always think personal first, then business second. That's what I tell my family. That's what I tell. And when I mean my family, my close relatives, I don't tell nobody else. I don't deal with other motherfuckers like that. Business first, personal second. Because if you get the business established, then the personal will follow suit. Because you're not going to go in there. See, we be going there with the dominant society and signing these contracts and thinking, oh, they my friend. No, they not. Because they not going to knock no plate off they dinner table for you. And you should not be willing to do it for them. See, I think a lot of the times we as human beings look at NBA players, look at rappers, look at people in the limelight and feel like they're supposed to be a certain way. No, they're not. I've said this a million times. Look, if Jay-Z was an activist the way we wanted, he would not be a billionaire. He'd be a poor motherfucker. Activists don't have money. That's why they're activists. They can say and do what they want. They don't deal and adhere to corporate sponsors. People like Jay do. So you got to give him his own classification and his own category. And we got to know what it is in business. And in finance, we got to, I would say each one has to not just teach one, do the research. Find out what's going on. Don't just think it's sweet. I see a lot of people out here in Las Vegas buying this, buying that. The prices of rent done went up. Shit, back in the day in Las Vegas, Nevada, you get you a 2-bedroom apartment for $750. Now, you can't get nothing under $1,200 a month. Houses was going for 100 racks, 50 racks, 85 racks. Now, ain't no house under $220,000. And I'm talking about raggedy ones. But here's the reason. This is what I want to know. Who is the one setting the prices all of a sudden? Who is the one that's like, all right, now we're going to drive it up? I would say it's the banking system. I would say it's the Federal Reserve that hikes up the interest rate, lowers the interest rate, puts too much money in the supply, takes the money away. You know what I mean? I would say they're the real Stromboli or the real Geppetto, and we all just, that's where it becomes a class thing and not really a racism thing. Because it's like, well, but then if you think about it, it's like the rising of a tide. How a tide rises. I watched this movie called The Rising Tide. These kids broke into this house and found gold coins. And then it was so funny how they all got corrupt on each other. These is teenagers. And then one of them end up killing each other at the end. But these are kids. And kids is doing that. Imagine what adults are doing, especially melanated brothers and sisters. Because see, what happens is we get the money, and when we get the money, I think a lot of the times we don't know how to act because there's nobody in front of us that are conducting themselves in such an organized and sophisticated manner. I just don't think we know how to do that because that's lost. That art form is lost. I think the art form of flossing on each other and popping our collar and treating each other like shit, we get off on that. I'm gonna tell you, I know we get off on that. We don't want to work together and we get off on that. There's a lot of dusty ass nigga mentalities, and niggas are, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, you got the same 24 hours in a day that I got, that the next nigga got. I can't be mad at another nigga for working harder than me and accumulating the materials that they have accumulated. And I can't be mad and be like, oh, they spent, look, you learn a whole lot about a person by what they spend their money on. That's a fact. I try to have an even key. I try to buy a little bit of stock, a little bit of books, a little bit of, just a little bit of things. I try to buy some pussy every now and then. You know how it is. Look, niggas spend their last on some pussy. Niggas will pawn their left shoe. Niggas will steal from their mama to get some pussy type shit. But we just gotta know how to be on a code and learn how to barter with each other first before we start doing business with other races. I always tell niggas, I'm not in competition with you. We in competition with them. As Dr. Claude Anderson teaches us, racism is the competition of resources, man. Go read Black Labor White Wealth. Go read Powernomics. We deal with too many horizontal issues, basically this way, back and forth, which doesn't mean anything. And then the vertical issues that go up and down, the shit that we need to move up and down the ladder, the economical ladder, we don't want to be bothered with that. We want to deal with it's a lot of Sambos at the gate. You know what I mean? Gatekeepers, like Mike Epps said, I'm a good gatekeeper. See, that's what niggas need to do. Be good gatekeepers. Don't be fucked up gatekeepers where you don't like how a nigga acting, so fuck it, close the door for him. Now let's take stock and inventory of how people act and what type of attitude they have. A lot of times I'll walk past a melanated brother or sister and they don't even want to look at you. They act like they don't exist. You see them interact with other races, they go out of their way to say shit, and I hate that. You know why? Because it's the self-hate. We don't even like ourselves, so how can we like somebody else? And it starts with family. And I'm not saying with your relatives you gotta be super close and all this other shit. Nah, you ain't gotta be all that, but you gotta respect your relatives. And if you deal with them, you have to deal with them in decency and in order. Like I said right now, I'll tell, hey look, like I said, I deal with my immediate siblings, and that's about it. And maybe some cousins, sprinkle in some cousins every now and then. But as far as that, no, I don't go outside of that extension and deal with people that I normally don't deal with, because you can't save the world. It ain't your job to save the world. See, sometimes we feel like as we get a little bit of knowledge, we want to tell everybody. I don't tell nobody shit. Now, I don't try to hoard it and keep it to myself, but if you want to learn, you're going to ask. And when you buy your books, don't loan them out. Keep them to yourself, because people don't respect shit they don't have to pay for a lot of times. Some people do. Some people cherish the shit that they don't have to pay for because they know how hard somebody else worked and they gave it to them. But some people do. Some people don't. Everybody's different. We just got to stop, to me, being distracted. Who's the author of your narrative? Perception is people's reality. So however they frame that picture and create that avatar is probably what you're going to be believing and what you think it is. Don't think every time you see somebody rolling around with bumps in their car and rims that they doing well. A lot of these niggas living at home with their mama. They living with a bitch. They doing whatever they can to basically faking it till they make it. There's a lot of people that don't even want to get up, get out, and go do something. They just want to live on somebody else's money. Those people are failures at life. Those people are not an asset to society. They are what I call a fucking liability. And they need to be casted out from society and put in the sea of forgiveness and act like they don't even exist. Because life is way too short for you to be dependent and waiting around on other people's money when you can go out and create your own path and your own destiny of what you need to do. Two roads diverged in the yellow woods. I took the one less traveled. Don't think somebody else's path is your path. That's their path. Let them do it. And don't let people come around you and make you feel like their path is supposed to be your path. You know how niggas do. Man, you need to be doing this. No. And niggas that don't really have their shit together, stop telling niggas what they need to be doing. If you don't really have your shit together and you live in ass to mouth and mouth to ass on some ATM type shit, then what you need to do is worry about you. That's the word of the day. Worry about you. That's the phrase of the day. Don't worry about everybody else. I know a lot of motherfuckers always can tell somebody else what they could be doing. Like I tell people, don't worry about everybody else's generational wealth. Worry about your own. Do you have generational wealth? Do you have something you can lean on? If you got knocked down right now and you lost some money, would you be able to lean? What type of generational wealth could you tap into? That's what you need to be worried about, and not worried about everybody else's generational wealth and what the fuck they got going on, because they're not going to be worried about you, no matter what you think. Friends, how many of us have them? Ones you can depend on. So basically, you have none. You have associates, because most people are not your friends. They are your associates. They're not going to put their neck on the guillotine for you. Remember that. I think a lot of times we get mistaken, like that nigga said on the Gemstones. Go watch that on BET. Now, you might have misunderstood me. Shit. And that's exactly what I have to tell you. You might have misunderstood me. That's a fact. Because that shit is real. Whether you like to think it is or not, but know what you're saying. Know that your words are powerful. Try to be as uplifting as you possibly can. Now, a lot of these motherfuckers that be selling hope, and a lot of these people that, you know, they go to church and seek refuge, let these people go to church and seek refuge and pray today, Cesare Borgia and all that. Don't let that bother you. That's all I always say. Did Jesus come back today? Oh, damn, he didn't come back. I'm just joking. Hey, each one, teach one. So if that's your line of belief system and that's what you teach somebody, fine, but you're not an adult until you establish your own belief system outside of what your parents have taught you. Because a lot of the times, they're only teaching you what they know. And a lot of the times in this religion, on this religion or religious path, most religions only teach you that Bible. They're not going to teach you to go read the books that I'm talking about reading. They're not going to teach you to study from the cradle to the grave. They're going to teach you to stay within the boundaries of what the word is. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to go outside of that so you go learn things on your own. Because a lot of things you're not going to learn in church. I'm telling you that right now. Go read The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's a very good book. I'm telling you, go read the book. It's very good. But anyway, man, I appreciate everybody listening. Subscribe, man. Hey, the holidays is coming up, so don't be on no bullshit. Man, hide your valuables. Don't be out here riding around and getting it and shit. And don't thinking them up. I watch on the news where this nigga jumped out the car and snatched this bitch's purse and drugged the bitch like 100 yards. So don't even put yourself in no position like that. You know what y'all women should do? Any women, melanated sisters, when you carry your purse, put a bunch of rocks in them. Put your wallet in your pocket and put a bunch of rocks in your purse, and then bop somebody upside the head when they try to steal it. That's what you need to do. Put a whole bunch of rocks in your goddamn purse so they can be like, damn, that bitch got money. And then when they try to grab it, turn around and bop the fuck out of their ass with that goddamn bag of rocks. And then they gonna learn that. For all you porch pirate motherfuckers, what y'all need to do is get your Amazon box, fill it with dog shit, and put it on the fucking front porch, tape it up, and let those motherfuckers steal that shit since they want to be porch pirates and shit. And then when they open it up, you should put a note inside of it that says, this shit is for you. That's what y'all need to start doing. These motherfuckers, man, because y'all know how holidays are. Look, holidays is not meant for you to just necessarily be with your family. They got everybody think it's meant for you to, look, everybody so busy rushing, trying to go shopping and trying to doing all this bullshit. You can't even enjoy the holiday. How you going to enjoy a day that's supposed to be meant for you and your children, like Thanksgiving? And then nobody really enjoy that because most people have to be at work because Thanksgiving is like a regular day. And then the day after Thanksgiving is like a regular day. Back in the day, Thanksgiving, everything is shut down. Everything is closed. Nothing's open but a gas station. And then at a certain time, they're closed. Now, everything is open. Because it's about money. It's about what you can get sucker-ass motherfuckers to spend their money on. And then they know, oh, okay, tax time. But then again, you're fucked on tax time thanks to Donald. Donald made it where poor people ain't getting no income tax unless you got children. So if you ain't got no children, you're not getting shit back. And if your children are older, you're definitely not getting shit back. See, Donald Trump made it for him and his wealthy buddies that are invested in IRAs, mutual funds, stocks, and bonds. See, they get tax deferrable shit. Us, we just worried about income taxes, how many kids we can claim. And then when we get the money, what we gonna do? Go buy a car with it. And then we don't even want to sit down and learn about, okay, I can't keep spending every income tax on a car every year. So maybe I might need to budget and put money, allocate money to different things. See, a lot of the thing is with melanated people, we don't have discipline. We got discipline when it comes to that pussy. We know how to discipline for everything else so we get that pussy. And then y'all women, so y'all get that dick. Women will alienate the world for some dick. Most women will put their child on Amazon Prime so they can get some dick in exchange. They will put their son on eBay for some dick. That's what they would do. But it ain't about that. It's about each one having the knowledge of what it is, coming into some type of knowledge so you can know how to, prepare your children. A lot of us are not preparing the people behind us on what to expect. The value of a dollar ain't worth shit. So now you have to work. If you work 2 jobs all your life, the kids coming behind you, they're going to have to work 3 and 4 jobs. They're not even going to be able to enjoy shit. So you got to tell people to use their intellectual property. See, that's not what, when I was raised, I wasn't raised to use my intellectual property in here to make money. It was always go to school so you can get what? A good job. But what kind of fucking good job do you when the job only pays you enough to keep coming back? It's not telling you to be an entrepreneur. It's telling you to go be a worker. Go watch that Dane Dash interview on Big Boy. I'm just telling y'all, these are things that you need to learn about and understand what it's about. But man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Please, everybody, don't be no fucking mammy like Lizzo. Nice woman and all, but man, you acting like a fucking mammy. And you out here, you're showing your public ass and shit. And don't nobody want to see that. And let me tell you, that's what they want to see, because they want to make a mockery out of you, and they like the buffoonery and the fuckery and the clownery and all the bullshit that goes along with it, because you're a mammy to them. That's why they like to take mammies and prop them up. You know what I mean? And people that are just happy to be there. They don't want to take people. See, they know one thing about melanated people that have built this country. We know we are owed more than what has been given to us. See, the Latino community and everybody else, they just happy to be here. And there's nothing wrong with that. But y'all didn't build this country. See, we did. So when you built the country, you're feeling some type of way. And that's the problem. That's why you have everybody else, all these lazy niggas and all, everybody else come over here and they talk shit about native melanated brothers and sisters. And then what we do is we feel bad that we going hard on them. So then sometimes we can't be the most accepting people on this planet. We are the most accepting people on this planet. I was watching this movie called Savage Youth or Youth Savage or whatever. And it's about these black kids who got murdered by these white kids that were all on meth. Very, very good movie. And basically, it was a white boy that was a rapper, and then there was a black dude that was listening to it, and he's like, why y'all white boys always talking about that? And then he gonna say, well, why you black people always talking? First of all, that ain't even your art form. See, that's what I would have started off with. That's not even your art form. Why you posing? A lot of the times it's because motherfuckers see Post Malone and Eminem, so everybody think they can do it. No, you can't do it. Just like Jeremy Lin in the NBA, like Floyd Mayweather said. Jeremy Lin is not even an anomaly, because you don't even know where he is anymore. You know why? Because he didn't have sustaining power, because he wasn't that great of an athlete. And you got to give Carmelo Anthony props, because he's the one who put him on. He's the one who told the coach to put him in. But Melo never gets no type of props or respect for that. No, y'all too busy worried about if he playing in the NBA or if he cheating on his wife or not. That ain't y'all fucking business. God damn. If y'all not worried about John F. Kennedy fucking a whole bunch of bitches in the office, then why you worried about Carmelo? Niggas always worried about that shit. No, let's worry about the racist fans that's calling niggas bitches and niggas and all this other type of shit. You're not doing that to the white fucking basketball players, but you get a rise out of doing that to a black one. That's why Isaiah Thomas walked up on y'all niggas and y'all didn't like what y'all saw. Fuck out of here. NBA, they racist too. Same thing, $40 million slave. If they wasn't racist, when Donald Sterling went on that racial rant, they would have specifically sold it to a black owner. But they didn't. They sold it to another Jew. That's why you need to go read The Secret Relationships Between Jews and Blacks. Because behind one successful melanated brother or sister, there's probably a Jew. That's a fact. And it's no diss to them. Hey, they run the money. So they are the authors of the narrative for real. So we got to take it back. Anyways, like I keep saying, I appreciate it. Hey, man, do your shopping. Don't jump out the bag. Spend a whole bunch of money on shit you can't afford. What y'all need to do is go buy a whole bunch of toys, let your kids play with them, and wrap them back up and put them in the box. Keep the receipt and take them back. Because that's all your kids going to do anyway. Play with the toy for a day or two and throw it in the trash and tear it up. So buy your kids a whole bunch of toys. Charge up the credit card. Buy a whole bunch of toys, and then the next day take them motherfuckers back and be like, well, decided to take them back. Fuck them. It's better to do that than be broke after Christmas and New Year's. I'm hit y'all with another podcast real soon. Maybe on Christmas Day, maybe before that. If I'm not busy. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. This is the No, I Don't Know TV series. I am your boy, Warren G. That place to be. Been clown and sucker free since 2003. Guilty, niggas. I'm out. Peace.